Yep, looks like church fun to me. Wow. Can you have fun in church? Well, we sure did. We were members of the Squaw Peak Covenant Church in Phoenix, and we're going to start out with Easter of 1970. This is a continuation of my home movies. I'm Ray Lindstrom, and these are my home movies, and this little epic right here will start in about 1970 and go all the way till about 1980. We're going to have three different scenes here of people having fun, and that's why we call this church fun, okay? Those are my two kids. That's Karen, and she is about 2 years old. Well, actually, she's not quite 2 years old. I guess she'd be less than two. And there's Barry. Barry was born in 1966, so I think he's less than 4 years old. And that's Squaw Peak Community Covenant Church. That's it right there. And this is Easter, and all the kids are out there, and the people are there, and everybody is enjoying themselves. We just heard a good message, and there's my dad over there, the bald guy on the right. I see my mother. I see all kinds of other people. I think there's Kay Kindle and Wayne Kindle and just a bunch of fine people, and they're all dressed up very nice because it's Easter, and it was a long time ago, and people actually did get dressed up in those days. There's my mom with my daughter Karen, and there is the pastor of our church, Bill Eljigren. What a great guy he was. Really helped me out a lot in my life, I'm here to tell you. And there's Barry going in there. He's all dressed up fancy. He's got his coat and his tie on. Don't see many kids wearing those things anymore. And yeah, are you familiar with a coat and a tie? Yeah, that's a thing you put around your neck, you know. And yes, there's my dad. He looks like a typical Lindstrom, got the bald head. Well, that's the end of Easter. Now we're going out and we're having some fun at Squaw Peak Park in Phoenix. There's Dwayne Olson, and we had a group called the TNT's, 20s and 30s, and we were all people that had kids. They had a lot of little kids. There's my friend Mr. Johnson, who was a dentist, Alan Johnson. There's my wife wearing a striped outfit up there. There's Wayne Kindle. He was a basketball coach at Maryvale High School, the basketball coach at Maryvale High School, and won the state championship one year, as a matter of fact. There's my wife, Diane, holding some child. I don't think that child is mine, however. There's my daughter, Karen. This, I would say, would be in the late 70s. And Squaw Peak Park. They don't call it Squaw Peak anymore. Now they call it Piestoa Park. I guess squaw was kind of a derogatory term that the Native Americans didn't care too much for, so they changed it. And I see some of the Olson girls. Dwayne Olson, he was an attorney in town, and boy, that looked pretty barren up there, didn't it? We used to go there all the time. Well, now we're up at Crown King. I think this is the Olson's cabin, and we're up there, and we've got a lot of people up there. I would say that this might be, if I were to guess, I would say this was maybe around 1979, 1980 sometime. There's Brad Kindle and my son Barry and my wife Diane right there. There's Wayne Hodgen, our pastor, on the left-hand side. Wayne and Kay Kindle. And there's Brad in the back there with Barry. And we're all having a good time here in Crown King. Yes, indeed. What a great afternoon. Thank Dwayne for inviting us all up here so that we could have some good old-fashioned, good, clean church fun. Wait a minute, there's Worth Hodgen. I see his underwear. I think, is he a gang member by any chance? I think we ought to check that out. I don't know. He's got, see his underwear underneath his pants there. I don't know. I think better watch out for that guy. Anyway, we're all having a good time, and this is a little volleyball action. There's Alan Johnson, fine dentist, performing some non-dental activity there. And we're going to spin that merry-go-round, and all the kids are having a good time. I see some old cars in the background. Probably worth a lot more today than they were back in those days, huh? Crown King, the church, Squaw Peak Community Covenant Church, way back there in the late 1970s or early 80s. Aren't we having fun? It was a great church, it really was. It's no longer in existence, and everybody's kind of scattered, but we all remember those great old days. Everybody got along, and we just had really a great time. Oh boy, having fun today up here. Now we're going to get in the back of a truck, and somebody's going to go somewhere for some devious activities. Not exactly sure what they are. Oh, and there we are. We're all in the back of the truck. The girls are just having a good time. There's my daughter on the left, and a bunch of other people. There's Worth Hodgen. He was the minister of the church, and I see Alice Page, and there's my wife Diane, and Alan Johnson, and Mr. Munsterman, and just a bunch of great people. Dwayne Olson. Yep, they're all there, all having a good time. There it was. Oh, here they come. That's the end, folks. Great times at church.